Hello and welcome along to another video. It's warm and sunny. I'm on the back garden and I'm going to do some trimming, some deadheading, and later I'll be planting some seeds. But before I do all that, my cannas need some attention, and in particular this tall dark leafed canna with red flowers. I've probably got 5 or 6 different types of cannas. They all have different leaves and flowers with their own distinctive markings. Now the first of the flowers have all flowered and the plant starts to produce seeds, so we want more flowers, and so later on we remove the flowers when they die back, and when the last of the flowers on the stem is finished, I cut the whole stem off. We don't want the seeds, we want more flowers. I'll also be trimming back some other flowers which have all finished flowering, such as phlox, Japanese anemones, dahlias, and practically anything else that needs a trim in the garden. The phlox and the Japanese anemone are usually crowded out by the white rambling rose, which usually dominates the fence earlier in the year. Today I've been planting seeds, and these are probably going to be my last sowing of these types of seeds this year. And you might think 15th of August is a little bit late to be planting seeds, but over the years I've found that we're all sort of hunkered down throughout the winter. When we come to March, April, we're zooming out onto the allotment and into the garden, trying our hardest to get those first early sowings of everything up and going. But what I found this last couple of years, particularly with beetroot, I've planted again beginning of April, and the last 2 years they haven't really got going. Whether it's been too hot or too dry, I'm not really sure. It could be a combination of all those things. But for me, early sowings of beetroot haven't really sort of come to anything. So this year I started to sow them a little bit later, sort of in May and June, and now I've just sown some Detroit, and that will be my last sowing of Detroit. They probably won't be good enough to store over winter, so, and they'll probably be only slightly smaller bulbs than what I'm pulling at the moment, but nevertheless they'll be just as good. So there's quite a few things that I have sown this morning that I don't usually grow. Some of the things for the first time for me, so we'll see how they get on, and I suppose it's a bit of a trial really. But, you know, I've been gardening now for 60 odd years, and there are still things that I haven't grown, I haven't eaten, so this year is a little bit like, let's give it a go and see how we got on. So that's what I've been up to this morning, and that's the seeds I'm growing for August. I'll do a further follow-up video in a couple of weeks' time. We'll see which ones have germinated, which ones have not germinated, and we'll see how we get on.
So in conclusion then to this video, I did say earlier on in the video that I would give you an update on the seeds that I sowed out on the 15th of August. Today it's the 31st of August, so we're 16 days past that point now. So let's just have a little look through, see which has actually done the best. Over here in these two modules I planted the Mizuna, which has germinated extremely well and is coming through nice and strong. Next to it was the pak choi, again nice and strong, if a little bit leggy, but I'm sure they'll be okay. Next to it was the coriander, a little bit slow in germinating, but they're beginning to come through now. A really good show of endive lettuce. Now I did grow endive lettuce a few years ago, and I found that they went all the way through the winter. It wasn't particularly tough winter that year, admitted, but the lettuce really held up in the winter weather. So I'm looking forward to planting some of that out again this year. Next along is Beetroot Detroit 2 Golden Globe. Again, we've got a good germination from those seeds. I'll give those another couple of weeks just so they start to show their true beetroot leaves, and then I'll plant them out onto the allotment. Coming forward into this next tray, if you remember, I planted out turnip, which was a snowball, small white snowball variety. Again, a nice germination, but a little bit leggy. Next to it was Lolo Mix, which I'm a little bit surprised at. Lettuce usually doesn't take much to germinate, but that one's a little bit slow. Next to it is the Radicchio, the chicory. Again, I'm very pleased with that. That's the first time I've grown that one, so I'm looking forward to that one maturing. Next to it was the silver skin, and this one is the first of all the seeds that hasn't germinated at all. Probably because the seed's a little bit old. I'm not quite sure, but I'll look into that and see where we go. Again, over into this tray we've got iceberg lettuce, and I think I've got the grand total of 1. So very patchy on the germination there. It may be old seed, I'm not really sure. And then the Italian mix next to it, and then across into this one, which is the loose leaf. And if you remember in my last video, I'll give you a quick update as to where we are and what they look like now on the allotment, which was about a month ago I planted those out. And right at the very end we've got Webb's Wonderful. Again, absolutely nothing germinated from Webb's Wonderful, so you know it's a bit of a touch and go really. When I planted the seeds, I did say that it was a little bit late in the year for planting seeds, and but out of all the seeds that I planted on the 15th of August, I'm really quite pleased with the germination. So while I'm in the greenhouse, I'll have a quick look now and see what else is doing really well. And down here we have a very late cucumber. We've already had about 5 cucumbers off this plant, and that one is probably the last one. Over in this next pot here we have some green bell peppers. We've had 3 or 4 quite large ones, about the same sort of size that you would find in a supermarket. Over here we've still got tomatoes coming, Shirley F1 and Elsa Craig. Also, just down next to the tomatoes, I've got jalapeno peppers. Jalapeno peppers, which are really coming on just nicely. I'll do a bit of a close-up on that one there, and you can still see that there are some flowers still coming through. Again, more tomatoes. So there you have it. Those are the seeds that I planted in August. I've got another 3 or 4 different ones to plant out in September, and I'll do those in a further video. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more. So for this video, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.